Hello there, it's Mary from KindEdge.com, and I am continuing here at the second hurricane lockdown. I'm evacuated to Orlando, and as I mentioned in my video yesterday, I'm challenging myself to extrovert. Instead of just vlogging, I am challenging myself to do a little bit of video blogging in order to do little bite-sized bits that I can still get out if I don't have time to sit down and actually write, which I'm still gonna try to do today. Might be a first day in 2 weeks that I get a chance to write, perhaps. One of the things that, I talked about my healing message and healing activity with respect to uninvited change, which this hurricane is going to flatten my house, and I'm going to go back and try to begin again, which begin again is a concept I embrace, and I've begun again in the past, and I'm going to begin again. So today I was just going to touch on one concept that we talk about in KindEdge.com, and that is conscious curation. That is a term that I created when I realized I had kind of passively allowed into my life thousands of people, places, environments, and things that had chosen me, but I had not chosen them. They really, really, really affect you, your life, your goals, your mojo, how you feel. And I started to really identify, and so as part of the KindEdge process that I'm trying to get published online as tools, a series of 15-minute bite-sized tools that can help you achieve big change in small achievable steps that you can achieve even if life is hitting you with chaos. You can be in an emergency room with your kids getting injured, and you can do one of these 15-minute tasks, and it gets you clear on a decision and a choice, and it gets you clear on the one next step. And as you daisy chain all of those little 15-minute bite-sized activities, you effect big change in small steps. Each activity is a new plank in a bridge that bridges you from where your life is now to the life that you imagine in your mind, but you think can only be a distant future option. I'm dying, and so are you. Each one of us only has so many minutes left to invest, and if we leave the good stuff for the future, it may never happen. And so I'm working to deliver KindEdge steps that I built on myself to change my life to everybody else. And all I need is time, and everything in life keeps kind of taking me from time, but I will pile drive it through. So I'm dealing with my second hurricane. House got flooded in the first hurricane. Second hurricane is coming, and it will very likely have the water above my house and take everything I own away. My house is pretty much empty right now, but there's some good stuff I've put on the highest shelves in the house. And I did, because of the first hurricane, there was no time to get things into storage facilities and that kind of thing. It was just reactive and dealing with garbage it took 4 days to get garbage away, and then more garbage is still on everybody's front yards. So I wanted to just start to do these quick little video blogs in order to deliver bite-sized bits. And I'll ask of you, if you can share this with anybody, it would help me to get momentum. So the concept of conscious curation is, so if you go through the first couple steps in KindEdge, it's first making things real. Instead of saying, I'm doing this, I'm thinking about this, I read this book. You read a book, you get inspired by guru inspo. You read a book, you put it on your bedstand, and it collects dust because Monday hits you. And Monday is happening to you. You didn't choose Monday. The way work hits you, the way the kids' school hits you, the way demands hit you, the way previous assumptions hit you, they all kind of pull you in and you can't really redesign your life. So with KindEdge, you first focus on making this real. And so I talk about having binders that you actually make this a project, and it's not in an Excel spreadsheet that you will forget about in your computer. It's taking up space. It's sitting on a table. You physically see it. You have a page in there that you've made promises on, and you have a next page that you owe more action to. 15 minutes a day, you can do it. So then you make it real, then you get your vision clear. So you really think about, what is this thing that I want? Is it volunteering? Is it different education? Is it a completely transformed life? Is it using my skills in a different way? Is it, becoming something I've never tried to become? Is it becoming a broadcaster? Is it becoming a writer? Is it becoming a scientist? All of these things kind of sit way back here and seem impractical or disruptive if it would cause us to have to downgrade the car we drive or ask the family to move to a smaller house just to bide time and lower the budget for a couple of years. All these things seem very disruptive and out of flow with all the things you're kind of tied into. I have a book that will be coming out, and I talk about in that the strings that we have tied to us, and we allow those strings to be there. We get used, abused, manipulated, or pulled into things by other people. But there are things we do to allow those puppet strings to be tied to us. And that is the only thing we can control, and we can cut those strings when we want to. And that's an important concept in the book I'm putting out. So as we move through this process of really making this project of our own goals real, you then go into a process of getting really clear, and I treat it as a very practical, non-woo-woo change management project. So you identify all the details of where you are. You identify all the details, starting with an illustration that you create, then getting it into words, then getting into practical, where is it? What does it look like? How much does it cost? What do you do in the day, top to bottom? And then you go through a gap assessment, which is, what are all the little changes that are needed along the way to bridge from there to the new place that you want to be, the new life that you want. Because for some people, the change is just how you use the time in your day. For some people, it might be going to a different country. The changes are of a different flavor for every person. So then as you go, you identify the future goal and you see the gap. Then you create a very clear action plan. And what happens when you get this clear action plan to say, I'm going to close all these gaps, I'm going to close these changes, I'm going to bridge to the next phase. When you get there and you start making those steps, you'll get item 1, item 2, item 3. I practiced this for 6 months. This is different now. I'm doing this differently. You'll get to item 7 or 8, and you'll hit a wall, and you'll say, why is that wall there? Why can I never achieve that? And you will find something either in your mind or another person who is holding you back. I'm staying in a hotel because of the hurricane, and my dog I don't usually let him on the bed, but we've been in so many hotels, he doesn't know where home is anymore. And he knows that bed is, he knows that's familiar space. So he gets to be on the bed in the hotels. Don't tell the hotels. So he's so cute. So when you start to really close the gaps, then you get, it's like a little action plan, and you'll see one step that keeps hitting a wall. And for me, there was a person who was a wall. And it was like every time I tried to I'm a good project manager in my work, in my profession, corporate communications change management for large global organizations. So taking entire organizations and changing the way they operate, changing their culture, changing who they're owned, by. And, I could do that professionally because I had the ability to partner with teams, push through with teams, partner with leaders, and that kind of thing. And I finally opened the gate of going, oh, I am hitting my edge. So in my KindEdge process, I'm hitting my edge, my uncomfortable edge. That every time this person blocks me or says yes, but does no, meaning says yes, oh, sure, you can do that, but no in actions, in disappearing, in sabotage, in holding out other holy grails that I had to jump and save. I'll give a little tip. The title to my book is Catching Vases. If somebody takes what's most precious and throws a vase in the air, and if you are the person that always dives to catch that perfect vase so that it will never break, you will always have a string on you. You will be the puppet that somebody else can pull the strings on. And I had to cut those strings, and that was a heartbreak because I saw precious things break when I stopped diving to catch vases. That was really hard, but that was my edge. My edge was not being a good girl. My edge was getting really good at disappointing others and just doing me. And I found my edge, and I am so freaking good at it now. I'm an expert, and I'm always centered, and I see gold in people every day. I can see the gold in people, and I embrace the gold. And I do not invite in anything that is not golden. I choose amazing, and anything that is not amazing is not going to be worth the few spare minutes I have in the day. And as you can see with the hurricane, I have even fewer minutes. So conscious curation is one of, so I've got this process, but conscious curation is one of the hacks. So there's all these little hacks. And I actually create totems, which is stuff, things in real life that remind you of these hacks, that remind you of the importance. So for example, on my website, you'll see a gym towel that says, channel the animal. So one of my hacks, I've got many hacks that I had to learn, but there are many times that it's good to be reasonable. It's good to be zen. It's good to be a listener. It's good to be compliant. It's good to be reasonable, you know, to not disrupt things and just try to partner with others and get through. But there are times when you need to channel the animal. So I created a gym towel so that you and I can have something in real life that you see. So when you're just going along the day and going, oh, well, that guy jumped ahead of me or whatever, and you see this physical thing in your hand and you go, no, channel the animal. Channel the animal in you. And I had to teach that to myself. Channel the animal to push. This is a time to push. Take that animal energy and defend yourself or assert yourself or push through, drive through, drive through the chaos that life will always do. And that's what this video is. I may not have time to sit down and write. I have to go walk my dog. I have to do things. I have to get the water out of the trunk of the car and that kind of thing, because, you know, we may lose water in the hotel. And so I'm pile driving through. I'm an introvert. I don't like to video. I don't like to do this, but I'm like, I'll be darned, Mary. You are not going to fall victim to a frickin' Cat 6 hurricane tsunami. That thing won't stop you. This is my life. I've only got a few minutes left. Let's do this. So I'm like, all right, sitting down. It's 7:34 in the morning. I've showered. I've done a bunch of stuff. And my video yesterday was chaos because my hair was crazy. So I'm like, well, I showered. That might make me feel better. So these are hacks. My whole website has the process, and I'm trying to get the process all documented, but the process and then all of the hacks along the way, which are these mindset bits that you have to bring into real life because you'll forget. If somebody does something, you'll fall into your old habits. I call it digging a new groove. You need these things that bring you energy to go, no, I'm actually gonna say, and I'm gonna use the dumb examples here. Let's say you go to a coffee shop and order a drink and they give you it kind of wrong. You know, and maybe sometimes you go, oh, well, I don't wanna complain, they're busy. But then you start with that tiny little practice and go, no, it's going to give me a little stomach flurries, a little anxiety, but I'll ask. And then you feel bad, but then you feel thankful. And then you say, yeah, I deserve the drink I bought, I ordered. Then you have a huge, toxic, powerful person at work, and you use that same energy because you start to dig in a new groove. And so I've got all of these little tools and hacks that I'm building. And if you go, you can see the products. If you look at my stuff on KindEdge.com, there's totems, and then there's fun stuff, things that inspire you, things that make you laugh, but there's totems, and these totems are objects of meaning, and you bring them into real life. So I have a keychain, you can do it for free, a screensaver on your phone. I've had times, I choose Amazing as the screensaver on my phone, and I had a moment where I was gonna fall victim to something, and I instead transformed that thing that happened to me into Choose Amazing. And I did something amazing and made things better. And so you have all these little hacks that you can do that are part of pushing you into new behaviors that help you push your goals forward. And my goal with KindEdge.com is to help you, anyone who wants a change, who really has that thing in the back of their head that they want to bring it into real life fast, soon, now, this year. I want you to unlock the alternate ending to your life. And you're imagining it, and it can be real. It just takes all of these little tools. And I love inspirational books. I love speakers who do inspirational weekend events. You pay $3,000 to go hear them talk. But Monday always seems to suck you in to your old ways, your old grooves. And so I learned I had to get really tough and practice all these little tools, change the way I work, change my mindset in order to unlock the alternate ending to my life. And my life is not over, even though my house is disappearing in a day. Hurricane Milton can do its thing, but I can begin again, and I will unlock the same dream and the same purpose that I am. Because purpose floats. That's the other thing, is I've gotten clear on my purpose. I know what I want to do. I might die tomorrow, but I'm doing my purpose today, and purpose floats. So all my furniture might sink. Every single thing in my house, including the ceiling lights, might sink. But purpose floats, and I've got it. It's clear, and no one can take it away from me, not even a Cat 6 hurricane. Mofo. Conscious curation is one of the hacks, one of the tools, and you do it big in the beginning, but then you do it every single day. It's a mindset and a way of living. Conscious curation is knowing your purpose, having illustrated where you want to be, knowing what your better life includes, and making sure that today you unchoose every person, place, environment, and object that doesn't align with your desired life. And that is hard. So you can start with Marie Kondo. You can do a full clean out of every object. And it's a lot of work, but it's good to do. What a gift is a hurricane that's gonna sweep away every freaking thing I have, including my domicile, my shelter. Like in Maslow's hierarchy, I am right back down to the bottom. I am looking for shelter. That's where I am. That's my self-actualization level, is just shelter. Just freaking give me shelter, because I don't have it. And everybody's homeless, so everybody's taking hotels, everybody's living in friends' houses. People are literally saying, I would have you stay here, but I already have this family and their dog staying here. So, it's a beautiful experience, but it's really stressful because you really don't have a lot of choices. And when you book with the hotels, they're like, you'll be on the phone for 2 hours going, no, that one's taken, no, that, So what a gift it is that I've already consciously curated my life. And I did that with every object and every environment and every person. I get to do that again. And I get to do it based on, probably I'll be able to channel the animal a little bit more, because boy is things are more urgent than they were before, because I got to get this done before I die. So conscious curation, you look at everything. You look at what you want to get done. So I used to do things like go to obligatory events, obligatory barbecues, and I'd be hanging out smiling at somebody at a barbecue, and it would be the person who's kind of too big and over talks and really wants to show everybody that they have a whatever great house or whatever. But the people that are there are always kind of these overdone people, or I don't seem to, I won't blame them. I'll say it's me. I didn't connect with them. And yet I felt obligated, because it was always like, oh, hey, we love having you there. It's so great to have you there. And then I would say, oh, but the thing I really am trying to do, my writing or anything else, like my workouts, my writing, whatever, the things that are important to me, it would be like 8:30 at Sunday night when the kids are crabby and I'm trying to get them to bed, and then I give myself a half an hour to get some of that going. And I went, whoa, you don't respect yourself enough to say no to the toxic barbecue people and to disappoint them when they, cheer you up. Oh, it's so great to be there. You gotta be there. Oh, so-and-so liked you so much last time. You gotta be there. And this is what I've gotten so good at. People will say, oh, you can't come? Oh, what else are you doing? And I'll say nothing. And I just let them sit with that, because who owns that disappointment? They own that disappointment. That's not my disappointment. I'm excited to be able to do my life with my minutes. And if somebody else says, you're not coming to my barbecue, but you have no excuse to not go, and I go, oh my gosh, it's a life hack. And then the things I do go to, oh my gosh, I have a girlfriends group. They are golden. Every single person in that group is a completely different flavor of human. It's like a mixed bag of awesomeness. It is just a fabulous group. It's always warm. I'm always excited to see them. I always learn something new. We laugh our heads off. We have a great attitude about hurricanes, because we're all fleeing right now. We're texting each other. Which hotel did you get? Where are you? Oh my gosh. So even though we all know we might lose a lot. So I've really consciously curated the people in my world. And I consciously curate like the coffee shops I go to. I really sense Mojo. I'm also really picky about my espresso beans. It's gotta be a fabulous French or Italian bean. So that's the first cut. But it's the Mojo, and I don't ever want any Mojo that is not amazing Mojo. And then all the objects in my life, I really choose, like if you're using this old keychain, I'm like, no, I want something bright, clean, efficient, perfect little mini carabiners attached. Just choosing everything and getting rid of all of the other stuff. Choosing the things that work, choosing if you got something that the little, some pen where the edge doesn't always work, get rid of that pen, buy fabulous pens. I actually took time as part of conscious curation and tried a whole bunch of pens. And I got high-end pens, really expensive pens, cheap pens. And I chose my daily pens as the white Tool TUL pens, and they are fantastic. They roll very well, whatever. And I just went, I gotta have everything in my life working like that. My notebooks, I'm nuts about my notebooks, the type of spiral, the type of pages. Everything I'm touching and feeling has gotta be in flow with me, what I chose, not something that, not a cheap pen that some hotel gave me. And so consciously curate those objects and everything starts to feel better. And you consciously curate the people and you win back the minutes that matter to you, and you get to invest them versus lose them. And you consciously curate environments, and you just kind of get this passive flow of good mojo from people that, you see people, you cross paths, you laugh, you high five, you hug. All of those things, It is a buoy. They buoy you, they bring you up, they help you rise. And so as you're doing things, you need this kind of momentum to carry forward. Every time you're pushing towards big change, if you're pushing to run a marathon, you need the current to run with you. And oh my gosh, with this hurricane, can I tell you how often analogies to water are coming up? It is ridiculous. Like in my community, we can't stop saying where I live, well, we're all in the same boat because we're at the same elevation level of flooding. We literally are in the same boat. This hurricane, like the horrible effects of this hurricane are gonna have ripple effects for a long time, ripple effects. Like all boats rise, like if we help each other, all boats rise. Every single thing that's happening is a water analogy. So it's become ridiculous that I can't stop saying those types of things. So I hope that conscious curation makes sense. I will write about it more online, but if you found value in this, what I would say right now is just because I'm trying to not lose momentum, even though I'm not in my normal daily kind of process, I would ask that you do anything that you can to share any of my social media pages or just share KindEdge.com. You can sign up to the mailing list. I would just like to grow an audience, as they say, because I want to make stuff that really helps others. As my legacy, I want to hand this over before I die. And I'm dying, and so are you. And so we've only got a few minutes left. So thank you for your time. I hope this isn't too nerdy, and I welcome any questions if anybody has questions, because again, I want to not only live in my mind, but make things real. It's like, what are the real questions? What do you do? That kind of thing. So I wish you peace, and to everybody in St. Petersburg, Florida, my home, and everybody along the Florida coast. I wish us all peace, and we will always stay together. In the first hurricane where there was horrible flooding, it was a disaster. Everything was just a complete disaster zone. Everybody was helping everybody and giving hugs, and all in the same boat. We are a community. And after this one, it's going to be tough. It's literally going to change. It's going to change many towns. Many towns are going to be completely different. And you can't just, I can't plan my next hotel because I don't know which hotels will be operational as of Friday when I need to look for a next hotel. I don't know, I mean, my home won't be there, but I can't even shop for real estate because you don't know what the state of anything is at this juncture. So you just have to wait and see and take things literally, very literally, one day at a time, which is okay. That's a gift as well. You just walk your dog. If you walk your dog, he is your teacher, and you will learn. So I send you my hugs and peace.